Hi, I'm Barbie Romero, Director of Event Programming at MediaPost. Welcome to our Brand Insider series, Ask Me Anything. This is your chance to ask our past speakers anything that's on your mind or anything that you didn't get to ask during the summit. And today at our AMA Spotlight, we have Megan Jones, Chief Media Officer from Digitas. Welcome, Megan.
Thank you, Barbie. So good to be here.
Great to have you. So we have a few questions that some people on LinkedIn, also maybe on the newsletter submitted. And the first question that we have is, with technology evolving at supersonic speeds, what are some core skills, both soft and hard, that you believe today's workers need to be successful in marketing and advertising?
Yes, it's a great question. It's one I think about for myself often. I would say one of the first things that folks should think about is curiosity. Our industry and the world kind of at large when it comes to tech and data is rapidly changing. So being able to be curious is incredibly important. Also, I think bravery and being fearless, right? So those are two soft skills. It's sort of being willing to say when you don't know something, but brave to go and learn more about it. And then the last, I think, more of a hard skill, I would say, is like critical thinking, really trying to understand the aspects of the things that are emerging in the world and deciding what the application is today, having an open mind towards the future, but having that critical thinking that's applied to anything new.
Great. So, with the curiosity, a lot of people are using AI nowadays. There was a debate in our last summit on if it's good for younger people or if more senior people should be using AI. I wanted to get your take on like the media mix. I know it's constantly evolving. People need to keep up. Do you believe it's more efficient for senior people to use it because they have like, the experience, they know how to read things, or is it a new tool for younger people to also catch them up to speed?
Yeah. I mean, I see it as both. I don't think it has much to do with age. I think it's more about the use of it and being able to figure out how it applies to the work that you need to do or the thinking you need to do, or frankly, just the info gathering you need to do. So I consider myself a senior older person in the industry, and I have found it amazingly easy to use AI for so many different aspects of my job because it's kind of replacing what I used to use search for, right? And then for younger folks, I think to get a quick level setting of any topic, it's super easy. But also, I would argue younger folks, more junior folks, are probably very familiar with the use of AI because it's across all of the platforms they're using all the time. So I don't think it's an age thing. I think there's application to everything. Partly it's about speed, partly it's about asking good questions to the agents. Part of it is in the world of like automation, et cetera. It's going to allow us to use our brains to do more things as we automate some of the tasks that, quite frankly, are not the best use of our time.
Yeah, like the more mundane, boring
The
Excel
mundane
sheet
stuff.
sorting
Yeah.
through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that and things like QA and things like gathering vast amounts of data and then being able to analyze it or summarize it. Like all of that is great to use machine learning and AI for, and then use our brains to actually do that critical thinking I was talking about before.
Yeah, great. So let's switch things a bit and talk about your career. As you said, you've been in the industries for many years. So someone wanted to get your perspective on what is like a positively impactful decision you made about your career. Also, if there's something you would have done differently in the past, let us know.
Yeah. There's a lesson I learned, oh gosh, it was probably about 8 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. And there was an opportunity that had, I thought, passed me, right? So something I was really interested in and I was really bummed out that I didn't get the opportunity. I was talking to one of my mentors in the industry, and she said, "Well, you didn't ask for it." And I kind of was confused by that because at that point in time, at that stage in my career, I just thought more senior folks saw what I did and would recognize my value and then would reward me, right? And so that was the moment I think that changed for my career, where I realized that you really do need to speak up for the things that you want. And I mean that in terms of opportunities you want, roles you want, intros you want, whatever it might be. I had been quieter, assuming that I had folks looking out for me and almost navigating that for me. And at that stage, it was take your career into your own hands and ask for the things you want. So for me, that was a pivotal moment. It has really changed, I think, both the trajectory of my career, but also, quite frankly, just finding my voice in rooms that in the past I maybe wouldn't have in the past. So huge for me. And then your other question was something I missed.
Something you would have done differently in the past.
You know what? I don't have a ton of regrets about my career. I was purposeful in the places that I chose to work. I chose to go to different agencies and holding companies at stages that I felt were going to either bring me new skills or open my mind or just introduce me to things that maybe made me a little bit more uncomfortable. I think I would have done that maybe a little bit more. I'm an interesting case study in that I've had 3 jobs in my entire career, which is unusual. In the agency world, people hop quite a bit more, and I just haven't. So I don't regret any of that whatsoever. I've loved each of my experiences. I've been at Digitas for over 12 years. But I do think continuing to seek sort of variety would have been probably a good additional move to do.
Great. So you already kind of gave advice for younger people, but if you have something else to give, definitely like be brave because that was something that I had to learn the hard way too.
Right? It's such a hard thing to learn. I think you just kind of think you're supposed to fall in your place and folks are looking out for you. And yes, they are, but you also need to find your voice, right?
Yeah.
Other advice for young folks, I would say walk up to the person, walk up to the executive, like raise your hand for the thing, right? So it's a little bit the same as the advice of like speak up for yourself, but it's also about um the idea that like everyone has a good idea.
Mhm.
We're in a people business. So use those opportunities to introduce yourself, to talk to people, to sort of um, use the environment and the community to your benefit, right? Like, I think that that's something that today, especially in the world where a lot of folks are working remote or hybrid, or we're in front of computers all day, I think remembering the importance of the in-person interpersonal connections is a really key one. And so going up to people in rooms, going up to people in offices, going up to people at conferences, I think is something I would suggest folks do more of.
Great. And you went to one of our conferences, so
You did, you
you had
did.
that experience already to
I
one of our
did.
summits, I mean. So yeah, like I know that you're very busy, so we also more curious, how do you recharge? Like I know at the summit you probably got to do some afternoon activities, but when you're not at a summit or at Digitas, how do you recharge?
Yeah. It's so important. And I think over the last couple of years, I think I've realized just how much more important it's become in my life. A couple different things. I love, and everyone I work with and my friends know this, I love reality TV. Like I am a pop culture junkie, and my dad always makes fun of me because he thinks it's like horrible for your brain, right? But I actually find it restorative to my brain to watch Real Housewives who are ridiculous, right? Kind of puts everything in perspective for the world we work in. But more importantly, I love travel. I just came back from a trip with some friends. I have a trip planned in a couple of months. It's just like one of my favorite things to do. And I would say when I do that, when I take vacation, I fully take vacation. I am not the type that's constantly checking back in. I'm available, but I'm not connected. And so that I think is really important, taking the breaks when you can take the breaks and really allowing yourself to recharge. I also love outdoors. So, it's getting warmer in Boston where I'm based now, and just getting outside as much as possible. Those are probably the main things I do.
That's great. Where did you go traveling to?
I was just in the Bahamas, which was awesome, part conference, part fun. And then I actually have a trip coming up to Italy at the end of the year, which I can't wait for.
That's very nice. I got married in Italy last year, so you need tips, I'll
Oh,
give them to you
amazing.
offline.
Yeah. Where in Italy?
Sorrento.
Okay, awesome. Awesome.
But we'll connect offline.
Yeah.
All right. So we're part of the show that I'll ask you quick questions, rapid fire answers only. So are you ready?
Yep.
If you weren't in your current field, what would you be doing?
Screenwriter or florist?
Oh,
Hmm.
that is total opposites,
I
but
know,
we'll
I
answer. Marketing jargon you wish we stopped using.
Oh, I hate the like, let's circle back, let's take it offline. It's not marketing, it's just stupid language.
What is your alternative for that?
I think great question. Let's talk more. Like just like
Okay.
human language, right? And the other one that's funny, I taught a friend recently, they had never heard, and this is a stupid one, but they never heard of the word boondoggle.
I never heard of it.
Okay, that's like when you get swept away by a vendor to something. It's kind of an old school language, but it's a ridiculous word in our industry.
Wow. All right, and then well, we you briefly talked about the show that you like to watch about shows. So,
Yeah.
what is your favorite show to stream now? Is it still
I just
Housewives?
finished the latest of Love is Blind trash, and I'm about to start this season of Severance and this season of White Lotus. Haven't done it yet, trying to avoid all spoilers.
Yeah, it's funny. I just interviewed someone last week, and they said they were watching the same shows, and I'm like, I'm watching those shows too. Everyone's watching those same two shows.
Very popular.
Yeah, they're very good. So
Yeah.
I won't spoil it for you.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Megan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Barbie. It was so great to talk with you.
Great talking, and thanks to the audience for tuning in. And if you ever want to be featured yourself in the hot seat of AMA or want to be asking some questions, please contact me at barbie@mediapost.com. Take care.